let's while we're talking, let's just mobilize. Okay, so let's just tilt our heads to the side. Good. Other side and over the shoulder. And over the other shoulder. And let's look up. Put your chin on the ceiling. And your chin on the chest. Good. And now let's do a nice big circle with our chin. Clockwise and anti-clockwise. Nice big loops. Good. We're also going to just put our fingers behind our back, link our fingers behind our back, and just pull down a little bit and open up our shoulders. I always find this one particularly useful if you've been sitting still for a long time. It's good to just open up your chest. So pull your shoulders back, take a nice deep breath in, and just sigh it out as you release. Good, good. And we can also do a little twist in the seat. So keeping your hips facing and still, keeping your hips still, you're just going to move your upper body up and around a couple of times, and just to mobilize your rib cage a little bit. Stretch those ribs. Do you all feel a little bit limberer? So let's start doing a little bit of singing. So I'm going to mute you all now at this point. Ya 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 ya, and ya 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 ga 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 li 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 T T T T T T T T T T T T T T knee 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 knee. We are the knights who say knee 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 la 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 la. Led is falling about laughing over there. You are the knights who say knee. La, let's go and la 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 la. What I'd like to see when you go la 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 is that the jaw is open and the tongue is doing all the work. Not la 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 la. We don't want lots of fish. We want just the tongue. La 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 la. Do you see how that works? My jaw isn't moving. So really get that tongue action going very nicely. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and la 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 lo la 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 li 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 na 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 me 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 me. Good. That's an exercise we haven't done for a while. Drag that one out from the archives, let's call it. Okay, and we're also going to do a little just this va vu vo. So let's go down a little bit. Va vu vo. Okay. If you're singing it deep down like I am, don't make it sound like a bear. Yes, keep it nice and bright. So, it doesn't need the bear. The bear happens anyway. So here we go. Use the v to really energize the sound. So the va vu. Here we go. Va vu fo. Va vu fo. Va vu fo. Va vu fo. started thinking about the higher note, we now have to think slightly about what we can do with that so that we don't close the throat, because that's really important that we don't close the throat. So I want you to think about the tip of your tongue as traveling down to the bottom front teeth, va, vu, bo, and not letting it retract, because what happens on the top note is va. Quite often the tongue wants to go backwards. So think tongue forward, lizard-like, and the other thing you can start to think about is actually thinking about pushing down into your pelvis rather than tightening and going upwards. Yes, so va, vu, vo. Here we go. Va, vu, vo. 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 Happy? Good. We'll also just do a very quick Bella signora, 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 bella signora. Always thinking about the tongue coming forward, yes? Make sure that the tongue is staying in the bottom front teeth, not oh, because we don't want Kermit. We don't want Kermit, and Kermit the Frog isn't allowed. Yes, tongue forward, like the frog. Bella signora. What you might want to do is drop the jaw a little bit more and think about that space behind the eyeballs, that bit where our brains should be but never is. That bit there, we need to resonate in there. We're singers, we don't need brains, we need resonance. Here we go, so ba, 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 ba. There we are, that's right key. Here we go, and bella signora, bella signora, bella signora, bella signora. Last one, bella signora. Oh, that didn't work very well for me. Oh. Warming up still. Okay, that's all right. Are you feeling warm in general? Good, 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 good. So today we're going to look at a few of the Hammerstein, Rodgers and Hammerstein songs that are a bit more familiar than the slightly random ones that we've obscurely touched on in the last 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to start off with, what's it called? Sorry. These are the ones that are meant to be less obscure. Getting to know you. Getting to know you is the one I wanted to start with now. So this is from The King and I. And it's, yeah, I've made the lyrics so you don't have to scroll. So it's all in one place. So you should be able to see that okay if you're sharing the screen. All right. It's the beginning bit that I think is probably not as familiar as the rest of the song, as per usual. So I'll teach you the first bit. Okay, so getting to know you. It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. As a teacher I've been learning, you'll forgive me if I boast, and I've now become an expert on the subject I like most. Subject I like most. That's a weird interval, sorry. On the subject I like most. Getting to know you. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. Getting to like you. Getting to hope you like me. Getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed, suddenly I'm bright and breezy, because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Getting to know you, etc. How did the first bit of that go? Did you all know that little bit? Aha, let's go back there and have a little visit of that in that case. So you've got this, it's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. Okay, so the interesting thing there is that the upper note is higher up each time. It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. So it goes up each time. Are you happy with that so far? Great, great. Getting some lots of nods there. Oh, I can't speak anymore. And then, as a teacher I've been learning, you'll forgive me if I boast, and I've now become an expert on the subject I like most. That little bit there is quite tricky because we sing an F sharp in the one bar and then an F natural in the next bar, and we jump down to the F natural, whereas we don't just go from the F sharp to the F natural. We've got to go in a strange little direction. So let's look at that. As a teacher I've been learning, you'll forgive me if I boast. So the opposite of what we were doing before, where we were going bigger steps up and down, now we're going bigger steps down. So, as a teacher I've been learning, you'll forgive me if I boast, and I've now become an expert. That's that naughty interval that was banned in Western church music for centuries because it was called the devil's interval. It sounds really evil, that doesn't it? It's like the villain at the silent movie has arrived. That's the note that he would get. Ba, ba, ba. It's that Diablo e musica, diminished fourth. And now become an expert on the subject I like most. So it is It's a release of that tension that happens there. It's really lovely. As a teacher, I've been learning. You'll forgive me if I boast. And I've now become an expert on the subject I like most. And then we say, getting to know you. And then we go off on the bit that everybody knows. So let's go from the tippity top. It's a very ancient saying, but a true and honest thought, that if you become a teacher, by your pupils you'll be taught. As a teacher I've been learning, you'll forgive me if I boast, and I've now become an expert on the subject I like most. Getting to know you. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. Getting to like you. Getting to hope you like me. Getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I'm with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed, suddenly I'm bright and breezy, because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Then you go again, getting to know you, getting to know all about you. Getting to like you, getting to know you like me. Getting to know you, putting it my way, but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy. When I'm with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed, suddenly I'm bright and breezy, because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day. Nice little tune that, isn't it? How did the beginning bit go for you all? Did you find that okay that time round? Aha, some good emphatic nods and some thumbs up. Lovely, lovely stuff. Okay, I think we should move on in that case. The next song we're going to do is Climb Every Mountain. This doesn't have, my version doesn't have an introduction or anything. It's very nice and straightforward. So let's just go straight into it. Climb every mountain, search high and low, follow every byway, every path you know. Climb every mountain, forward dream. Follow every rainbow till you find your dream. A dream that will need all the love you can give. Every day of your life, for as long as you live. Climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow till you find your dream. Rather dramatic, that, isn't it? You can see why I didn't put that in the first song to sing, because you need a little bit of a warm-up to get into that. How are you coping with the rainbow? Did that feel like your throat was wanting to close on the word O of rainbow? If that's the case, Len is shaking his head. I think he even sang it an octave lower. That's probably why it's all right for him. That's definitely the option for everybody. You don't have to go and develop tonsillitis to sing those notes. So just, if it is too high, you can just sing that. So climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow. So follow every rainbow. You can sing that phrase an octave down if you need to, if you're of the bassy persuasion. But if you're a little bit braver to sing high notes, the thing to do is to make sure that you don't take a breath just before rainbow. Keep the energy going all the way through. So take a good breath on before follow. And the other thing to do is to not sing rainbow and try and make the ooh of the rainbow too narrow, because you won't be able to sustain that on a high note. You've got to go almost slightly rainbow. I'm not singing rainbow, I'm singing rainbow. I think we fill the gap in our heads because we know what the word is. We can kind of anticipate what we're singing there. So follow every rainbow. And if you just as you're about to stop the note, just go slightly there, you imply the vowel shape in the diphthong. You give us a little bit of diphthong right at the end, just as you're about to stop singing. Then the audience knows what that word is. Can we all try that? So just go, follow every rainbow. See how it works? So you don't actually have to close the throat at all. And it's just implied. You don't have to rainbow. You can hear that's hard to do. So managing the diphthong. This is the thing about English, isn't it? It's always having to put the diphthongs in. That's the tricky thing. Anyway, so follow every rainbow. Follow every rainbow. If you can keep that energy down rather than tightening up the shoulders and the throat, it's the best thing to do. To make sure that that energy is down, drop jaw, energy in the pelvis. Okay, so we're going to go from a dream that will need all the love you can give. Every day of your life, for as long as you live. There's another one, live. If you sing live on the E vowel, it's going to be quite hard to do, but you've got to go slightly more vertical on your live. For as long as you live. Keeping it vertical rather than Wallace and Gromit like, yes? It's live. So, for as long as you live, climb every mountain, ford every stream, follow every rainbow, till you find your dream. It's marvelous, that. Makes me a little lightheaded every time I do it. Because you're not really getting a chance to do a lot of overinflation. You don't get a chance to take a huge breath. You've got to keep that energy going all the way through. Otherwise, it will deflate too soon. And you won't get all the way to the end of that phrase. Okay, well, that's a nice and simple one. That didn't take very long to learn, because you all know it already. But we're looking at a little bit of kind of coping techniques on how to cope with those high notes. And also, the other thing to do is to not peak too soon, I guess. So start it off in a slightly lighter place, so that by the time you get to the second column of words, you've got somewhere to go. You're not already hammering out the notes. I think that's also quite key, isn't it? We'll get another chance to sing it at the end. We'll do all 4 songs one more time at the end, I hope. But that's sort of where we're going to leave that one for now. Does anybody have anything more to say? In that case, let's look at the next one, which was Oh, What a Beautiful Morning. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling, everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. Don't turn their heads as they see me ride by, and a little brown maverick is winking his eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling, everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. And the old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a wonderful feeling, everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day. Okay, so that's a nice straightforward one. Did you remember what we, for those of you who have done this one in person with me before, do you remember what we decided to do with the verses? But the verses have different character too. So I sort of pretend that the first one is a sort of really nice, mellow, and then there's this moment where you kind of go, all the cows are looking at me and they're not moving, and they don't seem to be responding to me at all, which is a bit odd. And then, there's a cow there that's looking, the little brown maverick is winking her eye. That's all right, then everything's fine. Oh, what a beautiful morning. And then the last one, all the sounds of the earth are like music. It's sort of broad and positive notes, rather than the hesitant middle verse. The middle verse is slightly kind of like, you know how you walk into a saloon and suddenly everybody goes quiet. It's that moment. It's the you're waiting for somebody to spit in the spittoon desperately to break the silence. And then somebody does, and it's off again, and you're off. So that's sort of the vibe that we're going with. So let's just sing that verse with the cattle, and let's sing it as if it's a little bit scary. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me ride by. But a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy and don't miss a tree. And the old whipping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day. Okay, so are you happy with that one? Good stuff. What was the other one? Some Enchanted Evening. Ooh. So this has we've got beautiful morning, getting to know you in the nice afternoon, go and climb a mountain with somebody, and now we've got to some enchanted evening. So definitely a day out when we can lock down no more. Here we go. So this is Some Enchanted Evening. I'm guessing everybody knows this one. If you don't, you'll pick it up very quickly, I think. There are a couple of places that have got some tricky bits, which we will look at in a bit more detail, but let's just have a little go at it. Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. You may see a stranger across a crowded room, and somehow you'll know even then, that somewhere you'll see her again and again. some enchanted evening. Someone may be laughing. Someone, you may hear her laughing across a crowded room. And night after night, as strange as it seems, the sound of her laughter will sing in your dreams. Who can explain it? Who can tell us why? Fools give you reason, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, when you find who call you across a crowded room, then fly to her side and make her your own. Oh, through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let her go. So, lovely little tune. A couple of places where it goes quite difficult. So, I think what I'd like to do, it's this little bit here, this who can explain it, who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening. I think the thing to do is to try and get the two phrases to be elided together. So, fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening. See what I mean? So you sort of sing the two into each other. It's rather nice when that happens. It just means that you have to crescendo through. So don't make try too big at the beginning. Start try quite small. So wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, when you feel her call you across a crowded room, then fly to her side and make her your own. All through your life you may dream all alone. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let her go. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so that's all 4 of the songs that we wanted to cover today. So once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her, never let her go. Don't breathe too much. But again, if you start slightly smaller, then you've got somewhere to go with that. Also, I would say don't be tempted to sneak a breath before go, because you have to actually build on the energy of the previous note each time. So never let her go. If you did what the orchestra is doing underneath you, which is just sort of this never let her go, then you're not in the right place. But if you keep that line going legato, to keep the note alive all the way through the bar, so never let her go, then you're in a better place. Lovely question there. All right, shall we work our way back to the one I wanted to leave you with today actually was Climb Every Mountain. So we've got time to do two, I think. Which two would you like? Climb Every Mountain, it would be the one I'd like to end on. I think you said, oh, what a beautiful morning. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their head as they see me ride by, but a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy it don't miss a tree. And the old weeping willow is laughing at me. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going my way. Oh, what a beautiful day. I made that up because I don't have the music for it anymore. My computer's crashed. Oh, actually, it is time, people, so maybe we'll just leave it at that. That might be the best thing to do. We had a little good yodel, didn't we? So next week, we're going to continue with the thread of old favorites from Rodgers and Hammerstein. We'll add two more, 2 or 3, I'll see. But then what we're going to do is we're just going to sing through all of the Rodgers and Hammerstein stuff. So Make sure that you've got a good night's rest beforehand, because it's going to be a big thing. Yes, and keep a cuppa handy, because that will be useful. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll say goodbye.